Are you prepared to cook? Dalvin is. Welcome. By the way, something just happened to Rico Dowdle very, very suddenly. Little fishy. Let's get ready for Cowboys and 49ers. It's the DLLS Cowboys pregame show with Jeff and Aisha. Meow. Rock against San Francisco, and we are fully stocked in our 2018 running back room. Dalvin Cook is here, and as we were walking in 30 minutes ago, they said Rico Dowdle suddenly got sick. He's suddenly sick and is now inactive tonight. And so I think this is a classic whodunit. And we need to put all our resources into what happened to Rico Dowdle as he arrived at the stadium. And it can't be the flu. I heard somebody say the flu.
They said the flu.
Do they know that the flu is contagious for 5 to 7 days from the sign of the first symptoms? If he just had the first symptoms, he's on the sideline contagious.
Calvin reported it was the flu.
All right, well then the entire Cowboys team is at risk of contracting the flu as their starting running back just started displaying symptoms and is now on the sideline with his teammates hanging out. We got wild stuff happening tonight, baby.
Yes.
We got wild stuff.
The speculation is at an all-time high right now. Twitter is going in, Jeff.
Some people are getting mad at me. One guy blocked me on Twitter.
Why?
Because I said somebody sent me the ice tank, and if you guys are new to me, I love their on Twitter or X or whatever. There's a GIF of a tank that's on ice, and it's sliding around on a frozen lake or something.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I've decided that a team's not good enough to compete to win anything, I start firing off that GIF all the time because I want to tank and get all the draft picks. I love tanking. If the Cowboys lose their next 2, you're going to see a lot of that tank from me. And somebody sent it to me and said Jerry Jones is in on the tank, and I'd quote tweeted it, and I said, Jerry thinks his running back room is stacked tonight. He's got Dalvin Cook and Zeke. And a guy said, you are so annoying. And then I went to reply to him, but he had blocked me.
Oh, Muffin.
So my trolling, I'm Jeff. I'm Jeff. My trolling has gone too far. Yeah, in the chat, who might have allegedly, if we're just being reckless and speculating, if Rico suddenly got sick, I don't know, maybe it was something in his food or something. Who do you think might have altered the food?
Who done it?
Who do you think done it?
We're playing Clue.
It is very confusing.
It is.
Because if they honestly think, it's just confusing.
It's confusing because
he had the best game of his career, then got demoted, and now is inactive, and he got suddenly sick at the game, not before they went. He got suddenly sick right when he got there.
And then on top of that, the fact that, we heard Mike McCarthy this week mention that he was going to take an uptick in carries this week and everything. They elevated Dalvin Cook. We're sitting up here like, all right, y'all, we might get some run game. And then this happens, and it's just we can't have everything at the same time at all.
What if Rico goes full Jordan Phillips, who is on IR, and he said that he's not hurt. They just put him on IR. When Clarence was asking about his wrist, that the Cowboys put him on IR because he didn't play well. And then he was like, my wrist is fine. What if Rico after the game is like, I don't know what they're talking about.
I'm telling you
I'm
right
fine.
now, if a player was going to tell us the truth.
You think it'd be Rico?
Believe you me.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Rico will let you know, it's a moon.
That would be
so
hilarious.
So I think seeing him I saw a clip of him on the sideline, not on the sideline, coming out the tunnel and everything. He seemed like he was all right.
Yeah.
But Rico is very much so a player that wears his heart on his sleeve. You can very much so read his emotions and stuff and tell what's going on. But if they put him on IR,
he's not going on IR. Well,
if they Jordan Phillips him, somebody might riot.
well, I just
somewhere.
mean if this is the mini version, or
Okay.
he's inactive because he's sick, because they weren't going to deactivate. I wouldn't say who might have been deactivated for Dalvin Cook, but they were going to deactivate or have to deactivate someone else, and they were like, we can't do that. Let's have Rico be sick. I think it would be a lot of fun.
I actually,
We'll
Clarence.
ask Clarence, because we have the two best beat writers in the history of the Cowboys that work for us. And I'm going to ask Clarence because he is the best beat writer in the history of the Cowboys. But I also want to shout out the man who took Clarence's job at the Star Telegram, Nick Harris. He said, Cowboys announced Rico Dowdle came down with something upon arriving at the stadium. He was seen in the tunnels, walking in the stadium, looking just fine, rapping along to a song he was listening to. Must have happened after getting in the locker room.
Nick is going to jail. And Nick is going to jail.
And I hate Nick Harris. I think he's a bad reporter. He knows I'm joking. Let's talk to Clarence Hill and see what in the hell is happening.
Clarence!
Hey, Clarence, what happened to Rico so suddenly?
Yeah, it's crazy because by all accounts, he was fine coming to the stadium. Not just, Nick's account, but talking to people on the Cowboys who walked in the stadium with him. There was no sign of any type of illness, no sign of him feeling bad. Then all of a sudden, an hour ago, we get this message from the Cowboys PR that Rico took ill upon arriving to the stadium. And he's questionable, and then all of a sudden, he's inactive. And obviously, conspiracy theorists have gone crazy. I think Zeke slipped something in his drink.
That was
Because we knew.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta stop accusing people.
Let's be honest.
This is a big accusation.
I'm just obviously tongue in cheek, but
Yes.
we knew Dalvin Cook was going to play. I mean, you don't elevate a guy not playing. So the question was, who's going to go down for Dalvin Cook to play? And did you want to embarrass Zeke further by making him inactive? And were you going to do that, or was Zeke going to suffer this embarrassment of being inactive? So somehow we got to make sure that Zeke's not inactive and Rico's inactive. I guess it makes no sense. The guy's your leading rusher. He started the last 5 games. Leader in carries, leader in catches out of the backfield, and all of a sudden he's sick. He's not even trying to play through it. Like last week.
That's what I was going to say.
Deebo Samuel was sick before the game. He still tried to play. Then he was in the hospital on Monday and Tuesday. The idea that he's so sick, he walked in, bopping and rapping before the game. He's so sick. As soon as he gets in the locker room that he's inactive, you don't even let him warm up. You don't let him, see if he can give it the old college try because he's your starting back. He's not your backup. He's your starter. He's your leading rusher. You don't even give him a chance.
Okay, first thing I had to tell you, Clarence, is we had to be real. I want to be real clear, okay, about our roles in the organization that we work for. I'm talking about me and you. My role is to be a dumbass who says real reckless stuff.
Jesus.
You are a respected journalist.
You're right.
Let
You're right.
me ask if Jerry might have put something in Rico's food to make sure that his guys could keep playing. But it is a fun whodunit.
It is crazy, and I knew that because we were talking before the game. How many carries does obviously Dalvin going to get along with Rico? I never thought it'd be the situation. And another thing I just found out, Zeke was taking first team reps. Okay. During pregame warm-ups. It was Zeke taking the first team reps. So he's going to be the starter. It appears he's going to go out first. Now we'll see who gets the most carries. Will Rico out? Zeke has been taking first team reps.
Hell yeah, we're going to party. Is there anything else we need to know other than I think that San Francisco inactives are probably being announced in the press box right now? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, they just announced in the press box. They've already told the media about 30 minutes ago. But Kalen Carson's inactive. And I don't know. We thought that was going to. I mean, he's been out a long time. I didn't think he'd be out this long. I don't know. Certainly going with Deron Bland now, Kalen Carson again active. The good news is they don't have Brandon Ayuk, but Debo is playing, so that's something to bear watching. Still out there with that secondary, not having your best cornerbacks out there. Tyler Guyton was running with the first team at left tackle. And so it looks like he's going to go at left tackle. So that's where we are. It's Rico, not Rico. It's Dalvin Cook time. How many carries does Dalvin Cook get? 14, 15.
Well, he might get a lot more.
3. Zeke's going to get 20.
Oh, my God.
Do you want to fight?
It's Zeke time, baby. Have a good day, Clarence. Enjoy
Bye,
that a guy who's
Clarence.
announcing stuff and annoying the hell out of me right now. Tell whoever's the voice guy,
Sorry, y'all.
press boxes suck. I hate press boxes,
They're
which is
not
why
fun.
if there's anybody who represents any organization, please do not pay attention to what I say here, which is why I only use press passes to get in the building, and then I put them in my pocket so nobody knows that I'm there because I'm not going to the press box. I'm going to go find a seat. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
That actually sounds like the best thing.
Yeah,
to do.
that's what I'm going to do.
But I have a question about that, though.
What?
The last thing about last time we're going to talk about Rico Dowdle being sick.
He's sick.
He's sick. If he does have the flu.
He can't have the flu. If he has the flu, he wouldn't be around the team because when you first get the symptoms, you're contagious for the next 5 days. They wouldn't let a guy who has the flu who just had the symptoms show up be around the team.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say is that if he is mixed sick, he shouldn't be around the other humans. He shouldn't be around the other humans. Why is he in the tunnel catching stuff from fans and stuff? Sit his ass down somewhere. Put a mask on him. Put him in bubble wrap. Britt Brown,
I don't know.
somebody.
Aisha, I don't know what we're doing.
This is crazy. Every week it's something. Like, we haven't even talked about the Mick football.
We ain't even talking about the game.
Like,
We ain't talking about. Hey, if you have questions about the football game, go ahead and
football.
fire him in now that Rico is sick and he's not. I think Deuce Vaughn is active. Like Rico could.
and then that's what is that man's name? Clarence said something key. He ain't try to play through it. People play sick all the time.
Right, you can't go check it out pregame?
It must be the Bee Gees kind.
What's that? BGs. Oh, the bubble guts.
It might be
you think
stomach.
he's number 2 in?
It might be stomach. It would make more sense for him if he can't play. To me, it would make more sense why he wouldn't. Maybe
you
don't deem
go
him as contagious.
Throw up and then go see if you could play.
Yes, but I don't know.
I'm
What if he gets the
confused.
runs in the middle of the game?
Then you would go drop a deuce. You'd go.
No, I mean like stomach. That's why I was saying like maybe it's a stomach bug instead of like cough, flu, cough, sneezy. Anyway, we'll find out.
Solid Duck is in the super chat, and I believe that's probably his record prediction for the Cowboys is the rest of his name, and that's unfortunate. What did Rico do to get benched?
Nothing.
His name wasn't as popular as other people's. J Hart, tranquilizer dart. What is that? Is it? Oh, is that? Did Clarence say something about a tranquilizer dart to Rico? I don't know. Okay, hey, let's move on past that and actually do the football game. How about that? Please hit the like and subscribe button while you're here. I did do my keys to victory before the game.
You started with prayer.
I said the power of prayer.
Yes.
So if you guys want to put your keys to victory in the chat, I think that would be great. First, I said the power of prayer. Second, I made a very reckless accusation, which I am retracting. I don't think anybody actually poisoned Rico. I was just making jokes. But whoever might have done that, maybe some of the 49ers ate off the same plate and they could get sick. That's a key to victory. But then I ran out of keys to victory and I just went with when you don't expect anything, I'm going to have a great time watching the game tonight.
We are.
And if they win, man, that would be incredible because I expect them to get throttled.
Yes.
And that's a weird thing to say when you're actually playing a 3-4 football team that's had its own struggles and all that. But I'm going into this game looking at the Cowboys defense. We know they're shorthanded. We know they're still missing their top 4 edge players. They don't have good run defense up the middle.
4 corners.
That Kalen Carson, Deron Bland, you have just so many things missing that in my mind, even a not peak San Francisco, I don't know how you're going to think you're going to get a bunch of stops. So I get the blessing of going into this game, predicting them to lose by a lot. And if it's close or if they win, I just get to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're at this point. I do think that this game is going to be important for, in reference to response and, seeing if anything they did at the bye is going to change. We're going to get a look at Dalvin Cook clearly. Like, I'm excited to see what comes of the game, given what's happening with San Fran and with the Cowboys right now. Pivotal point in the season for them both.
Yeah, both teams. I'm a big believer in the desperate team theory. If if one of the teams is desperate and one isn't, I think that there is value in that. The issue is that in this one, it's a double desperate team theory. They both are. And so I
So
can't
then it's
think
like that cancels out.
that's a cancellation.
So then you're like, well, what's the next thing? And then you say like, well, the coaching is
how good the
fine.
players are and the coaching.
the talent and the
And I
coaching,
think,
and it's
uh-huh.
like
We
negative.
will get some of your questions. We'll work our way through two eye in the sky, some of the matchups to watch. But first, I do need to take you on a little look around the league, which is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. And Game Time, by the way, if you use the code DLLS, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. So download the Game Time app today. Are you ready for my Around the NFL, Aisha?
Let's kill it.
In the NFC East, the Eagles smacked the Bengals 37-17. Lots of one-yard touchdown runs. The Eagles might be good. They're 5-2. Bengals fall to 3-5. They should trade us T. Higgins. Washington won on a Hail Mary to Noah Brown that was tipped at the 5-yard line. They tried very hard to lose the game, shorted the Hail Mary, and still won. The SOBs are 6-2 now. Asked about the play right after it happened, rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels described it as, quote, nothing but God right there. Time to consider that the man upstairs might have moved on from the Cowboys and now be a Washington fan. The Detroit Lions hung a 50 burger on Tennessee, 52-14. Could you imagine having a good and fun football team? I cannot. The New York Aaron Rodgerses lost to the New England Patriots. The Rodgerses are 2-6, 0-2 since Aaron traded for Devontae Adams. They should trade us Devontae Adams, since the team that Aaron built is really bad and he's old like me, so they need to start over. The NFL is so much better when Jameis Winston is involved. He led the Browns to eat a dub, 29-24 over the Baltimore Ravens, showing once again that literally anyone is better than Deshaun Watson at playing NFL quarterback. But we hope that his recovery is going great. Tua came back today, which meant the Dolphins could use the forward pass again, but it wasn't enough to stop the juggernaut that is the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals went 28-27. Kyler Murray went to Allen High School. So did I. I bet his GPA was higher than mine because you can't graduate if yours was any lower than mine was. Stuff no one cares about includes the Falcons dive bombed the Bucks, the Bills stampeded the Seahawks, the Chargers shocked the Saints, and the Fighting Bo Nixes of Denver tamed the Panthers. That's a look around the league brought to you by our friends at Game Time.
That's talent right there.
Thank you.
It's fantastic improv.
I'd like to thank Element, who said like button, peeps.
Yes.
Please hit the like button.
Somebody said they started Purdy in their fantasy league. It's okay to be honest here. We get it.
I can't, look, it's not like I'm saying it with anger or maliciousness towards anybody in my heart here, but I will tell you my sleeper picks for this evening in the Cowboy-Niner game is Dalvin Cook more than 32.5 rushing yards. Jake Ferguson more than 25 receiving yards. Jordan Mason more than 75 rushing yards. Deebo Samuel more than 50 receiving yards. George Kittle more than 50 receiving yards. I also think that the 49ers might be able to do some things on offense. But that's what I count on you for.
Oh, don't do it. Okay.
You are my shining light of optimism with the Cowboys.
No.
When I get sad or scared, I just think, what could Aisha give me to believe in? So without further ado, it's time for Two Eye in the Sky, the matchups to watch. And hopefully it's things where the Cowboys are going to smoke them.
Listen, I'm losing, Faith.
Huh?
You're not helping. You're not helping.
Look, here's the thing. If you're a Cowboy player, if you're on this team or whatever, you are shorthanded still. You're decimated by injury, but also you lack a lot of young talent. Your offensive line hasn't played well. You don't have a good group of running backs. Your defensive tackle group is bad. Your linebackers have been up and down. Your coverage, like so many things have been poor or worse.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to y'all. Go out there and kick ass. Change some minds.
Listen. All right, so I got two things. I don't have much. I'm sorry to tell you. Even though the Cowboys defense is different, the San Fran offense is not. It is quite literally, schematically, exactly how it was last year. These guys have seen each other numerous times. 4 times in the last few years?
We haven't learned anything yet.
I'm trying to be optimistic.
You're right. That was my fault. I
to
shouldn't
be
have said anything right there.
You are getting Eric Hendricks back today.
Hell yeah, we
which
are.
I think could pay dividends for them, but the Cowboys are going to have to steal some possessions. This team does not turn the ball over much. Looking for them to try to get them to put the ball on the ground. Also, too, special teams. San Fran's special teams coverage, because they've had guys so in and out, I think Turpin will have the opportunity for some returns. We have actually seen, Jeff, I don't know if you've noticed, the offense has been really crappy, but Kevontae Turpin has had some good returns
Mhm.
this year. A lot more better with his vision and things like that this year. I think he's a little bit more comfortable. Cowboys are going to need to be able to have good starting field position to be able to put up points. I think that's an important element of this. And also, too, you already mentioned him, Jake Ferguson. You need him to have a big day.
It's National Tight End Day.
Well, wake
Did you
up.
know that?
I did.
Mm.
I've seen people tweeting about it. But I will say, lots of respect for Fred Warner and what he does. Never going to talk negative about what he does. However, I have seen opportunities where tight ends are able to get behind him, and I don't know what the other guy's name is right now. But anyway,
Best not to worry about it. I would assume the other guy's kind of a weak link because I was looking at some of the numbers.
They miss Greenlaw. I mean, Greenlaw.
Yeah.
That tandem together, you had coverage,
Yeah,
and the ability to just come downhill and run and read everything. So I will say, I think Jake Ferguson will have some opportunities. Also, too, the 49ers do this thing where they'll do cover 2, but they always, they'll do a thing where the robber can decide whether they want to come down and defend the intermediate part of the field. Sometimes that communication isn't good. It opens up that deep post, and it opens up the third part of the field. So hopefully Jake Ferguson, not completely removed from the MCL issue, but he is kind of getting away from the injury happening. How many weeks has it been? It was like week 2 where it was really irritating him.
yeah.
We're weeks removed from that.
Shout out to them letting him play through something, whereas Rico's not even allowed to exercise.
I'm gonna step on your toe, dude.
I held back 3 things during that. I'll have you know.
I'm trying my best. So yeah, those are my things, man. Special teams. I think the Cowboys have the advantage, oddly enough, on special teams. Maybe nowhere else, but on special teams, Jake Ferguson getting going, and this team actually having some familiarity. Actually, San Fran's a little bit more simple than they've ever been, to be honest.
And
Maybe that helps.
I think the Fred Warner thing is really weird because I was on my I was jeffing around on my NFL Pro account, and it was 2 stats right next to each other, and one of them was the 49ers for the first time ever are vulnerable in the middle of the field, and then the next thing over was Fred Warner, when covering receivers, allows the least EPA in the league. So somehow Fred Warner is still incredible, yet that part of the field is vulnerable. So you just had to find the middle of the field where Fred isn't.
Is not.
Wherever anyone else is in the middle.
Is not. And here's the thing about, we've seen some battles, I guess you want to say, with Jake Ferguson and Fred Warner. I don't know if you remember even the last couple of San Fran games. You watch the tape.
I don't remember those games.
I saw them, and again, the offense was crappy, but they battled. I mean, there was a couple of times you seen Ferg route him out, find separation, things like that. I hope he can find that and trust that knee today, because you're gonna need him to step up today and attack the middle of the field. So
Element 24 in the super chat. Please don't let the Browns game be my Sunday highlight.
Why would that be your highlight?
Yeah.
Why would that be your highlight?
Why would the Browns game be your highlight?
Because Jameis, I love me some Jameis too. I agree with what you said.
The NFL is better when Jameis is playing.
And he just comes in.
I demand Jameis on NFL Sundays.
He's such a vibes player too. He just comes in, has a good time.
Beat the Ravens.
What? Justin Tucker can't kick anymore.
Yeah, Justin Tucker got old. Yeah, it happens.
It makes you sad when it happens.
I don't know if you guys know this, but you get old. Yeah, Commanders and Eagles win. If the Cowboys don't win, their playoff chances are real dire at this point. That's from Kevin Gray Sports, which is our coworker, who you should watch the DLLS Mavericks show as well. Every pre and post game is right here.
Same for San Fran though.
Yeah. No.
Cardinals ain't playing terrible.
Yeah.
Seahawks ain't playing terrible. And then who else is in that freaking division? What's the other person? What's the other team?
Hold on. NFC West.
Sure. The Raiders?
No.
No, it's wrong. It's AFC.
Yeah, it's AFC North. NFC, the Rams.
The Rams.
Yeah.
Which they won last night, didn't they?
They just won a game that they weren't supposed to win. Football's weird. That's one of the things that you can always believe in, is that football's weird.
Today was nuts.
Yeah. Football's weird and you don't know. Give me your score predictions in the chat, please.
Yes.
I did. I haven't changed my mind. I'm picking 34-16 49ers, and I'm a big believer that Vegas usually knows what they're doing, and that's why they get to keep building new stuff. But I can't. The 4-point is the number that I saw for this game, is that San Francisco is favored by 4, and I don't know how you can arrive at that, given the history not only between the two teams, but I know the 49ers have had struggles, like Brock Purdy's had his struggles. Jordan Mason has been good, but since early on, he hasn't been incredible. But I'm just all of those things are fine. but now do them against this defense that we've watched play. And I'm like, how are we projecting that to be close? And I don't know. And so I hope that the Cowboys play better than I think that they will. I hope the Cowboys play better than I think that they're capable of. I hope that the Cowboys offensive line plays better than we've seen and gives you a chance. And then I need the $60 million man and the $35 million man to go ham and hang 30 on them.
Who's one player you feel like defensively has to play well for them to get a win? Has to be a difference maker.
I think Mozzie needs to have the second good game of his career.
He does, because that's one of the differences in every one of their games, San Fran, that they've struggled offensively, is that teams were able to attack their interior. If I'm looking for Oso Odigizua this game as well,
right.
Because I think they are vulnerable at the right guard, center position, but also too, I'm looking for Donovan Wilson. I think we have not seen him be that eraser that we saw him, because he really cleaned up a lot, in the box. I'm looking for him to set the tone, man, to be active in the run game, to not miss tackles, to sure tackle, to be that guy that we saw him be a couple years ago. Like, we still haven't seen it. And so he's my difference maker for this game.
What I think would be the most fun would be if our post-game show, where Vach Lombardi will join us later this evening, if I looked like an idiot, I think that would be a lot of fun. Like if Dalvin Cook and Zeke both run it really well and the Cowboys run the ball well, and I'm just sitting here like, sorry.
I have a weird feeling that Dalvin
happen.
Cook is going to play pretty decent. I really do. I think, obviously the fresh legs and all that stuff, but I would assume by now, I would pray to Moses that he would have his freaking playbook down and know it. So you have some versatility there. So I'm not super down on it. I'm excited to see what happens, dude. This is post-bye.
That's right. We got new vibes. We worked in groups at practice.
And the locker room, the guys were energized this week. It wasn't somber and sad and attitudinal or anything. The guys seemed like they were actually, number one, excited to play this game, but really focused this week as well. So I'm being positive person over here today.
Okay. I hope to eat all the crow tonight. Think Kittle is wearing the shirt that was in the super chat.
Is he wearing the shirt?
I don't know. I don't think he wear the same shirt again.
I hope not. It's getting old.
And plus now he has access to cooler shirts because he's got Juszczyk's wife is making cool stuff for people. So
She's a beast. She's a beast.
Yeah.
And it's not a rivalry anymore. It's not.
No, a rivalry requires you
fight back.
Yeah.
Fight back.
Yeah.
Maybe it turns into a rivalry today, but then it's going to be like, Astrid, all of our guys are hurt.
No, right now it's like one of them movies where the kids get out of school every day and the big old 7th grader just keeps beating up the little 5th grader until hopefully he bands together with a group of friends and they go on some sort of adventure. And at the end of it, they're able to trip the bully and he falls down and gets embarrassed, but also learns a life lesson and then stops being a terrible kid. And then everybody gets along after the Cowboys win 30-20.
Yeah.
That's
Jeff made my pick for me.
That's what you're going with?
30-20. Yes. I trust you. I trust your first mind.
I'm going with her pick. Chris, 42-30 Cowboys. I want to pick optimistic things. I just don't know where to pull it from. I'm like, what did I see? What have I seen offensively this year to make me think that they're going to hang 30-something on the 49ers? And what have I seen from the defense to make me think that they're not going to give up 30? And the answer is, I don't know, but I hope.
Nada.
I don't know, but I hope. Rick, 28-24 Cowboys. Go Cowboys. So here we go. No Rico Dowdle, inactive. Came down with some sort of illness.
No Kalen
Carson. We do have Eric Kendricks back. They will have George Kittle and Deebo Samuel. No Jawan Jennings. Obviously no Brandon Ayuk. And let's do it.
Let's run.
And then what about if you guys circled right back around here, youtube.com/@DLLS_sports to hang out with us in the postgame after a Cowboys convincing W that puts us back on track.
A W.
To run down. Jameis wants to eat that W. All right, let's go kick their ass, and we'll see you guys in a bit. How about that? Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
We all silly like the mayor.